My task for today is to build some doors for this opening, and this is the opening to the pantry. It's going to be 2 doors, and I've got it measured out. Each door is going to be about 14 inches wide, and it's going to open in the middle, and it's going to have screen wire in it, and it's going to look country. That's one of the 2 doors I'm going to make. That's what it's going to basically look like. I'm kind of doing this as I go. I'm kind of thinking about it in my head. That scares my wife, I know. But I will kind of give you a little sneak peek along the way and see how it's turning out. All right, I'm about halfway done, a little bit more than halfway done. What I've done is I've made 2 frames, in this case, equal size doors to fit my space, which happens to be about 13 7/8 inches wide for both doors and about 80 1/8 tall. And so this wire that's in here, we got this out off of Amazon. That door's not fastened yet, but anyway, so what I did is it came in a roll, obviously, and instead of unrolling it and then cutting it to size, I took my angle grinder and I just measured the appropriate length that I needed, which happens to be 9 inches for this, so it can extend over about 1 inch on both sides. And I just cut it while it was on the roll, and it worked out, in my opinion, a whole lot easier than it would have if I would have tried to unravel it. Stuff is pretty stiff when it comes from the factory. But this one is installed and it is functional. So that's what we're looking at right there. And obviously, still got some labels on there. I'm gonna take these back down, and G is going to sand and stain and probably beat them a little bit, rough them up a little bit. And then we will reinstall. I am going to go ahead and admit that I'm a little bit impressed with this project. Glenna wanted 2 doors for the pantry, and she wanted wire mesh in the door, incorporated into the door. And as is my custom, I give it my best try. And we have functioning doors on the pantry here. I just need to put the handles on. But these doors work. They work. But we're gonna beat them up, sand and then stain, and then we'll hang them. But I'm pretty happy with that. Good morning. I'm waiting for the Windstream technician to show up to hook our internet up. And I had just a few minutes, and I thought I would just go ahead and share some of the realities of what we're doing. And I'll have to decide later whether or not to actually put this in. I am sick of moving. Oh, goodness. And I know my wife is too. Being a retired Army, we have moved. We actually lost count, but we know that it's over 20 times. From the time we got married to now, it's over 20 times, and probably around 25 to 27 times. I don't feel like counting them up right now, but we could. But we know it's over 20. But it just gets old, especially the older you get, moving all of the stuff. And I will add this. I do feel like that we've got too much what I call stuff, but even with that, I think that we are not as bad as what I've seen a lot of folks. Being in the Army, you have in the military in general, when you move, you have a weight allowance based on your rank. So if you are an E5, you have a certain weight allowance. If you are an officer, an 03, 04, whatever, you have a certain weight allowance based on that. And that kind of encouraged us and motivated us to not hold on to stuff that we really didn't need. And if we were to go over that weight allowance, we would have had to pay by the pound for that extra weight. So that encouraged us. And we still are like that. But even with that being said, I still think that we have too much stuff. But it could be worse. It just gets old though, moving and all of this. So, you know, who knows what the future holds, but in my best estimate and my best guesstimation, I don't think that we're going to be moving again. Not in my lifetime. And I told G, I said, if I die, she's going to have to move all this stuff if she decides to sell. If she decides to sell and buy another house, she's going to have to move all of this stuff again. So something happens to her, probably not going anywhere. So it'll be up to the kids.